I fear many things in this world. I fear pregnancy. I fear men. Sometimes I fear the idea of God. Like sometimes maybe. I also fear nuclear war. But there is one thing that I am not afraid of, and that is Swifties. I actually forgot, I also fear not looking lush and glossy and like my face was cleaned and wiped with Windex itself because of how shiny and beautiful and glossy and bright it is. Before I dive into today's video, I did want to mention that today's video is sponsored by Peach and Lily. When Peach and Lily reached out to me, I lost my shit because I love Peach and Lily so much. They're vegan, toxin-free, cruelty-free. They also celebrate the iconic glass skin movement and also for introducing the Korean beauty movement to the Western world. The founder actually struggled with severe eczema growing up. That's very inspiring to me because I've been very open about my struggle with OCD and my skin picking issue. But I love Peach and Lily because it helps me nurture my skin and get it back to its best health after maybe not taking the best care of it and causing some harm to it. The ginger melt oil cleanser, I do not have the words to even describe how much I love this oil cleanser. This is one of my favorite oil cleansers of all time because it removes all of my makeup, including my waterproof mascara, which I only wear waterproof mascara because I'm a crier. Also, thank God that there's no fragrance to it because some balms and oils have a weird smell to it and I cannot stand it. It makes me want to vomit, and I love that Peach and Lily does not have that. I also love their glass skin refining serum. This gives me such a dewy look, and everyone asks me what is on my skin when I wear this. It sits perfectly under makeup or even when I choose not to wear makeup that day, and it's obviously a cult favorite. If you're interested in trying out Peach and Lily and getting glass skin of your own, you can check out the link in my description box. Make sure to use code CYBER30 because the Peach and Lily collection is 30% off. Thank you so much, Peach and Lily. I did also forget to mention that I do fear throwing up as well. That's like really irrelevant, but I figured that I'd get everything off my chest if we're talking about fears. Glad we had this talk. What the hell happened last week and why was it Swifty's own personal January 6th? To make a long ass story short, I know a lot of you are not new to concert ticket buying, anything of that sort, but if you didn't know, if you're a fan of an artist, you can become a verified fan. Usually you have to like sign up for some like email and then you get a code. I've only ever done it once and it was for Billie Eilish, and I basically got like an email that was like, okay, you're in, you get to get a verified pre-sale ticket code and you're like early access to get tickets. And then I was like sitting in my college class. I'm like, okay, I need to buy tickets to Billie Eilish, my fucking marketing 101 class. Anyway, you randomly get selected for, you know, the pre-sale. It's like a lottery. And that means you can basically get your tickets before bots and scalpers and you can get like good deals and the tickets and the seats that you want. There's been many times in my life that I've forgotten to become a verified fan and I've had to like beg for passwords from people on like Twitter. Be like, please tell me what the Strokes verified pre-sale password is, please, I'm begging. All these words are like not real words that I'm saying right now. Like imagine telling this to a pilgrim. All that being said, Miss Taylor Swift was selling tickets for her Eras tour last week and Miss Taylor used Ticketmaster. Ticketmaster is a ticket selling app, okay? And it's run by Miss Live Nation, okay? Miss Live Nation is an American events promoter and a venue operator. And so the site for the pre-sale was only supposed to be open to 1.5 million verified Miss Swift fans. However, something went horribly wrong. This is like when their insurrection happened, okay? 14 million people somehow gained access into this, including bots and scalpers, got in and swiped the tickets clean. Supposedly to Miss Swift and Ticketmaster and Live Nation, apparently this was all a big surprise. Do you see why I'm calling it the Insurrection 2.0 now? Literally, Democratic senators are now getting involved and saying that Ticketmaster and Live Nation need to split up and break up as working together. Like mommy and daddy said, no more kissing underneath the bleachers. You guys need to separate. They canceled the general public sale. Like it's not happening. Tickets are gone. Goodbye. If you were not a verified fan or if you were not a bot that got in, sorry, you're not getting Taylor Swift tickets. Unless you want to pay, we'll get into that. Taylor Swift would have to perform every single night for the next 2.5 years to reach all the fans that wanted tickets to her show. Isn't that insane? It's just not possible. Anyway, people are upset, naturally. I saw a Swiftie literally say that she'd take a bullet for Taylor Swift. It was a little dramatic, but I have to admit, all this must be very difficult for the Swifties. If this happened to one of my favorite bands, like the Strokes, if I was really trying to get in a tour, especially after years of that artist not touring, I would be very upset as well. I'm an avid concert goer. I know the stresses of getting concert tickets, believe me. And I know for a fact that this whole sale thing was very, very rigged and wrong and did not make sense, because there is no reason that one of my own friends, who shall not be named because they don't deserve to get outed like that, and I fear for their safety, this bitch, who I have never seen listen to a single Taylor Swift song, was able to snag tickets for them and their friends. Like, none of those people should be having those tickets in their pockets. Like, absolutely none of them. They're the least deserving people, and I love them. But I'm just letting you know, how weird is it that like non-Swifties were able to snag these tickets, but her own fans couldn't, you know? So originally the Eras Tour tickets were apparently supposed to be priced between $49 and $450, and now they're going up for $20,000 or more, depending where you're looking. First of all, people will pay for those tickets. There are people out there who have no problem paying for tickets like that. I actually know a person very well who would not mind at all paying that price for those tickets.
No, like, I finna be in the pit.
This all raises the question, why is getting concert tickets now like an Olympic sport? Can I just say that I kind of foreshadowed this with my video that I made a few months ago that's called Why Do Concerts Suck Lately? The entire vibe of the entire Taylor Swift tour that is literally like 5 months away has automatically been ruined and killed. The vibes are already bad, and the concert is nowhere near. Let's remember that a Swiftie publicly posted that she would take a bullet for Miss Swift, okay? I'm acting like I know her, but I grew up kind of in the same area as she did. Which, needless to say, that whole line about her talking about how she didn't grow up in a mansion, it's not true. Like I said earlier, I'm not a huge Taylor Swift music fan. Oh my God, sue me. But I can acknowledge that Taylor Swift is a great artist. She's had 5 new LPs within the last 2 years. She's gone through many, many struggles within the industry. And she literally broke a website literal weeks after an album dropped that many of her fans said were not their favorite album at all. When I drop new material that people don't like, I usually get like radio silence and like a few people being like, kill yourself. But when Taylor does it, she still breaks a website and gets a sold out tour, which is incredible. I just want to talk a bit about how buying tickets online for shows in recent years has become a living hell. It's gone absolutely downhill. Also, how is your name Ticketmaster when you are not the master of tickets? I don't see you mastering any tickets at all. That's crazy. Actually, quite the opposite. Most of the people who are going to concerts are young people. People like myself, young, spry, newborns, fresh out the womb. I've made plenty of videos about concerts, going to concerts. I love going to concerts, and I know most of the people who take going to concerts very seriously and put a lot of their money into going to live concerts are young people like myself. Let's take the Harry Styles tour, for example. He has had so many residencies. I think he had 15 nights at Madison Square Garden and then like 10 in Los Angeles, something wild like that. And we all know at least one person who is going to a Harry Styles concert every single night. Like, that's insane. Tickets will always be in demand because it's no longer the time where people want to go to just one show. People want to go to all of the shows, or at least multiple. Don't get me started on finna be in the pit, bird seducing girl. I don't want to get into it too much in this video.
No, like,
first of all, where are the people getting this money from? Not my business. Second of all, I don't really want to dive too much into the whole ethics of people saying, well, you shouldn't get tickets for more than one night because some of us can't get tickets at all. And I think that we really shouldn't be putting the blame on fans here. I think we should be solely blaming the companies like Ticketmaster and Live Nation. They are an oligopoly and able to do whatever they want because they know that their fans will pay whatever they want. Not to mention, they have very limited competition. There is not that much competition with ticketing companies, and they know the amount of power they have, which is exactly why they took advantage of it. Critics are saying that the ticketing company has actually been broken since it merged with Live Nation and monopolized the concert industry 12 years ago. Some people are even mentioning that new laws are necessary and that these two companies breaking up is very necessary. A concert promotion company making love with a ticketing distribution company is a recipe for a flawed system for consumers. The FTC Consumer Protection Bureau takes action on some of these ticketing prices and fees. It would definitely help if someone like the FTC Consumer Protection Bureau would take action on some of these ticketing prices, yeah, and fees, because it's never fun to get your card charged $9,000 for Taylor Swift tickets that you didn't even get. Like, fuck our credit score, right? Because that happened. That happened to people. They got charged many times for tickets that they never even received. Once again, how are you calling yourself Ticketmaster? You're not mastering the tickets at all. This actually happened to me, but with a different ticketing website no, it was Ticketmaster. Wait, it was Ticketmaster. I got charged $2,400 for tickets that I didn't even get because of a similar problem with Ticketmaster. That's crazy. I just remembered that. It was for the Strokes New Year's Eve show. Anyway, with all that being said, I think it's important that we take into consideration the people we're fans of and also who they decide to work with. There's a lot of fingers being pointed at each other right now. Like, for example, Taylor Swift's tour promoter is saying that they had no choice but to work with Ticketmaster. But then Ticketmaster and Live Nation are saying, well, they chose to work with the ticketing site. No one forced them to. But then Taylor's team is firing back and saying Ticketmaster's exclusive deals at majority venues on the Eras tour require ticketing through their system. I don't know. I'm not working within tour promotion and all of that. I'm not in the promoting business. But I think something definitely needs to change if you can only buy these tickets through one website for majority of the venues. I was trying to think of Mark Cuban's name, but instead I thought of Mark Ruffalo, which is a very different man. But anyway, they both scare me because they're men. But anyway, we need our own little personal Mark Cuban for the ticketing world. If you didn't know, Mark Cuban has a company called Cost Plus Drugs Company, so that there's no middleman when it comes to medication. Like, there's no pharmacy or fees that you're dealing with, and you can actually get your medication for a much cheaper price than if you don't have insurance, or even if you do have insurance. I had a health insurance when this happened to me, but basically last year around this time I needed a medication and my insurance company was like, we just don't feel like paying for it. We don't think you really need it. So I had to find a fucking coupon in America to use at the fucking pharmacy so that I wouldn't have to pay $800 for my medication and so that I could get a discount. That's insane. Anyway, Mark Cuban, if you want to cut out like the ticketing company middleman and just sell us tickets, I think all of us little mentally ill girlies who have to pay $800 for their antidepressants and go to a concert once every couple months just to stay sane, we would all be very appreciative. We're kind of begging at this point. New business venture. No, but truly, the ticketing world to get silly little tickets to see silly little artists sing their silly little songs on stage has become so unnecessarily stressful. Last summer, I miraculously got a new Wi-Fi router, which was like lightning speed Wi-Fi. Like, it was probably like just as dangerous as it was to stand in front of the microwave. That's how dangerous it was for me to stand in front of my Wi-Fi router. Anyway, the next day, the Strokes were literally selling like a few hundred tickets, maybe a few thousand. I don't know. I don't know numbers like that, don't ask me. And I was able to get them just because of how fast my Wi-Fi was. But if it wasn't that fast, forget it, I would have never gotten tickets. The adrenaline that I got from that day, like last July, I still have to this day, like a full 15 months later. But then there's also concerts like The Garden, who are my faves, my absolute faves, even though like their fans piss in the crowd sometimes.
Someone peed in the pit again at the Garden concert in Philly.
And they sell their tickets for like $30 through AXS, and it's some of the best. Access? Oh, is it pronounced Access? They sell their tickets through Access, and it's literally $30 and some of the best shows I've ever been to. And I feel like most concerts are not really sold through smaller ticketing websites like that. And so something needs to change. I don't have much more of an insight because, like I said, I don't work within the industry, so I don't fully understand everything myself. But I'm hopeful that this video may have explained some of it to some of you who were confused about it, or maybe didn't know about it, or didn't know what was going on, or maybe we're just gonna make a stupid tweet about Taylor Swift fans complaining just to complain, which is misogynistic, by the way. I don't have much more insight than this was definitely an abuse of power by Live Nation, knowing that they could take advantage of their young buyers. I'd be interested to see what shows would be like if individual venues were to be the only ones selling their tickets again. And I'd be interested in some insight from you guys who may know a bit more about the ticketing world and what would be a better solution for everyone. If you're a scalper, you're a bad person. If you're Mark Cuban, you should do something. And if you're Mark Ruffalo, you should also do something. And if you're Julian Casablancas, then call me. I'm just kidding. I'm too old now. I'm 23. So if you like this video, please make sure that you leave it a like because it helps me out so much. Also, leave a comment, like I said, if you have any insight in the ticketing world. Do you have a solution? What do you think would actually help when it comes to bots, scalpers, pre-sale, verified fans? I'd like to know. Make sure that you subscribe if you want to be nasty, if not, you're disgusting. Also, make sure you have your bell notifications on so you know every single time I post, or else you're gross. If you want to follow me on my other social media, Instagram, Twitter, Depop, Spotify, it's just at Nicole Rafiee. And if you want to follow me on my TikTok, it's at Nikki Nasty. Anyway, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna go stare at my Taylor tickets that I got at the verified fan pre-sale. It was me. I was actually talking about myself, about the person who got Taylor tickets even though they're not a fan. I'm just kidding. It's completely not me. It wasn't a good joke. It's actually very insensitive and it's too soon. I'm so sorry. Okay, goodbye. Forgive me. Bye-bye.